Every single day, you have access to a spiritual weapon that most parents never learn to use. It doesn't cost anything. It doesn't require special training. And it takes less than 60 seconds. I'm talking about the simple, powerful act of laying your hands on your children. In many homes today, this practice has been lost. We wake up, rush the kids to school, get caught up in work, and by the time everyone's home, we're too tired to do anything more than check homework and say goodnight. But there is an ancient practice, one that goes back thousands of years, that our children desperately need us to recover. Today, I want to show you 5 powerful reasons why you must lay your hands on your children every day. This isn't just tradition. This isn't just sentiment. This is something that shapes destinies. Let's get into it. Reason 1. You impart parental blessing upon them. The first reason is this. When you lay your hands on your children, you impart parental blessing upon them. Think about what a blessing actually is. A blessing is not just a nice sentence you say before bed. A blessing is a transfer, an impartation of favor, identity, and destiny from one generation to the next. And as a parent, you carry an authority that no one else on earth carries over your child. Not their teacher, not their friends, not even their pastor. You. When you place your hand on your child's head and speak blessing over them, you are functioning in a role that has existed since the beginning of families. You are saying, without necessarily using these words, I see you, I approve of you, I release good things over your life. Children who grow up without this kind of intentional blessing often spend their adult years searching for it elsewhere. In relationships, in achievements, in the approval of strangers. But children who receive it consistently from their parents carry a settled sense of identity. They know who they are, because someone whose opinion matters most told them. This is why the blessing cannot be something you do once a year, or only on birthdays, or only when they've done something impressive. It has to be a daily rhythm. Because blessing isn't a reward for good behavior. It's a declaration of worth that has nothing to do with performance. Reason 2. You secure them from the evils of the day. The second reason is that laying hands on your children daily secures them from the evils of the day. We live in a world that is not neutral toward our children. Every day they step outside your home and into an environment filled with pressures, temptations, and dangers you cannot always see. Some of these are physical, accidents, dangers on the road, bad influences. Some are emotional, rejection, comparison. And some are spiritual, forces working to distort their identity and derail their purpose before they even understand what's happening to them. As a parent, you cannot follow your child into every classroom, every friendship, every scroll through their phone. But you can do something that reaches further than your physical presence ever could. You can cover them in prayer and blessing before they walk out that door. This is why laying hands on your children in the morning, before the day begins, is so significant. It's not a magic ritual. It's a declaration of protection, a moment where you, as their parent, stand in the gap and say, "Today, you are covered." Think of it like this. You wouldn't send your child outside in a storm without a coat. Why would you send them into a world full of unseen pressures without covering them first? A few seconds of laying hands and praying over your child in the morning can be the difference between them walking into their day defenseless or walking in with an unseen shield around them. Reason 3. You pave the pathway for them to thrive in their world. The third reason is that this daily act paves the pathway for your children to thrive in their world. Every child is walking toward a future, toward decisions, relationships, opportunities, and challenges that will shape the rest of their lives. As a parent, you don't get to make every decision for them forever. At some point, they will step into a world that operates by its own rules, timelines, and pressures. But here's what's beautiful. The way you position them today determines how they navigate that world tomorrow. When you lay your hands on your children and speak purpose over them, telling them they are capable, that they are wise, that they are equipped for what's ahead, you are not just making them feel good in the moment. You are literally shaping the internal script they will carry with them for years to come. Children don't just inherit our looks or our habits. They inherit the words we speak over them. If a child grows up hearing, "You're going to struggle," or hearing nothing at all, they carry a certain posture into life. But a child who grows up hearing, "You are gifted, you are capable, you were made for greatness," carries a completely different posture, one of confidence instead of fear, of expectancy instead of doubt. This is how pathways are paved, not through one big speech, but through small, consistent moments where you place your hand on them and remind them of who they're becoming. Reason 4. It is biblical. The fourth reason, and for many of us, the most foundational one, is that this practice is biblical. Laying hands on children in blessing is not a modern trend. It is a practice woven throughout Scripture, modeled by some of the most significant figures in the Bible. Consider the story of Jacob blessing his grandsons, Ephraim and Manasseh. In Genesis, we see Jacob deliberately placing his hands on the heads of Joseph's sons, speaking a specific blessing over their lives, a blessing that shaped the destiny of entire tribes for generations. This wasn't a casual gesture. It was intentional, spoken, and physical. Consider also the example of Jesus himself. In the Gospel of Mark, we read that people brought their children to Jesus so that he might touch them. Even when the disciples tried to turn them away, Jesus responded by taking the children in his arms and laying his hands on them, blessing them. If the Son of God saw it fit to physically bless children with his hands, how much more should we, as parents, follow that same example with the children entrusted to us? Throughout Scripture, laying on of hands is consistently connected to impartation, the transfer of blessing, authority, healing, and purpose from one person to another. It is one of the clearest, most repeated physical acts of spiritual significance in the entire Bible. So when you lay your hands on your child, you are not inventing something new. You are stepping into a practice that carries the weight of biblical precedent, one that has shaped families, nations, and generations throughout history. Reason 5. You speak life into their future. The fifth and final reason is one that ties everything together. When you lay your hands on your children, you speak life into their future. There is a principle that runs throughout Scripture and throughout life itself, that words carry creative power. What we speak over our children doesn't just describe reality, it shapes it. This is why the words you choose to say while your hands rest on your child matter so much. When you lay your hands on your child and say, "You will finish strong today," or "You are wise beyond your years," or "Your future is bright," you are doing more than offering encouragement. You are planting seeds, seeds that will grow into the beliefs your child carries about themselves for the rest of their lives. Contrast this with what happens when children grow up hearing mostly criticism, silence, or negativity. Even without cruelty, the absence of spoken life can leave a child uncertain about their worth and their potential. But a child who is regularly told, through both words and touch, that their future is full of purpose, will grow up walking differently. They will make decisions differently. They will face setbacks differently, not as proof that they're failures, but as temporary obstacles on a path they were always destined to walk. This is what it means to speak life into their future. You are not just reacting to who your child is today. You are calling forward who they are becoming, declaring destiny before it's even visible. Every day you lay your hands on your child and speak life. You are functioning as a prophetic voice in their life, the first and most important voice they will ever hear. Here's my challenge to you. Don't let this be something you simply agree with in your head. Start today. Before your children leave the house tomorrow morning, place your hand on their head or their shoulder and speak just one sentence of blessing over them. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be consistent. Because the truth is, our children are not just growing up in our homes. They are growing up under our words and our hands. And what we consistently speak and impart into them today becomes the foundation they build their entire lives on tomorrow. So don't wait for the right moment. Don't wait until they're struggling or until something goes wrong. Make it a daily rhythm, as natural as breakfast, as consistent as saying good night. Lay your hands on your children. Speak blessing. Speak protection. Speak purpose. Speak life. And watch what happens to their future. If this blessed you, share it with another parent who needs to hear it today. And I'll see you in the next video.